Mock building is one of the most popular parts of the Lego Star Wars hobby, and there are so many massive and impressive mocks showcased online. I compiled a list of what I think are the 10 best Lego Star Wars mocks, in terms of detail, quality, and just my own personal opinion. The links to all of these mocks will be down in the description below. The first build I want to look at is the Battlefront mock by First Order Lego, and this is a smaller, more scenic mock of the Battle of Jakku, inspired by the map in Battlefront. The mock makes use of several broken down fighters and many different minifigures to bring this scene to life. The more central piece of this diorama is what I assume to be the thruster of a Star Destroyer, and this is just super detailed and looks really nice. The landscaping is done really well, with the different sandy and tanned pieces, with some debris and other wreckage scattered in between. This type of mock is probably one of my favorites, as small to medium mocks are packed with so much action and detail and not as overwhelming as some of those massive, complex mocks. By the same builder, I included the Death Troopers mock, which is based on the novel Death Troopers by Joe Schreiber. This story isn't as well known in the Star Wars communities, but basically follows a zombie outbreak in the Imperial troopers aboard a Star Destroyer, leading to several chilling scenes and events. And seeing this represented in this Lego scene is simply awesome. We see so many details in the walls and the side panels of the Star Destroyer's interior, with several blood splatters and explosions all around. The stormtroopers are seen being decayed and zombified with red pieces and damaged armor, creating this chilling atmosphere we read in the Star Wars Legends novel. I really like this guy's Star Wars builds and have a few more of his mocks coming in this video. And that is of course where the next mock comes in, which is the Jedi Temple invasion that happened during Order 66. This Knightfall diorama mock shows squads of 501st troopers invading this huge and detailed build of the Jedi Temple's interior, with a large structure at the end and a balcony overhang with the city skyline in the background and a deep orange sunset. Below we see parts of the Jedi archives being destroyed by the troopers and some hopeful Jedi trying to defend the holocrons as well as their fellow Jedi Knights. This build is so interesting and well designed, with so much attention to detail in the pillars, the statues, and even each step and pebble mixing in with the tan pieces of the temple floor. The black base is an extra touch that completes this build and gives it that diorama feel, with the name of the mock made with tiles, such a neat little bit of added detail. Changing the tone a little bit, I included the ghost, designed by the team at Brickvault. This is the ghost created around the scale of the UCS Millennium Falcon, and is relatively minifigure scaled as well. It has a fairly good detail and a really interesting massive ship design that Brickvault sells the instructions for on their website, and later they even made an updated version of this build with added details all around and an overall better design, with instructions for that one of course also on their website. Brickvault is notable for some of my favorite styles of mocks as well, which includes custom builds of beloved vehicles that Lego doesn't necessarily make in sets or make as good as some custom designers, hence why I had to include this custom UCS Ghost on this video. The final mock made by First Order Lego is the Nevarro mock, based on the Mandalorian TV show. Right now, this is my favorite mock by this builder, with so much detail once again and just such a good build of the scene in the Mandalorian storyline. There is so much going on here, with so much detail fitted into this one mock, from the houses to the terrain to the minifigure placement. Everything just seems so well done. The use of so many smaller tile pieces and masonry pieces in the walls give it the rough and bricky texture for the buildings, with some overhangs and other details here and there, and once again the terrain work is done so well too. I think this might be the best mock showing this scene and Nevarro in general, and seeing it just gives me that desire to learn to build mocks of this quality someday. On the Beyond the Brick Lego YouTube channel, there has been so many different Lego Star Wars Mocs being showcased, but out of the few I have seen, this Fiverr First based by Elliot Leons is easily one of my favorites, and one of the best clone bases I have ever seen. Of course, there might be some better and bigger bases, this is just personally one I think is the best based on my preferences, and is simply so impressive with so much detail, custom vehicles, and so many clone troopers on display, which is always a really cool thing in my eyes. The build looks like a typical Republic base, and even the Jedi Temple in a way, and is built really nicely with barely any visible studs, giving it that clean and sleek look, which is something I really personally enjoy. When I first saw this video, I was really impressed with the build, and had to share it on here. Also seen on the Beyond the Brick Lego YouTube channel is the massive Lego Star Destroyer, with some smaller Star Destroyer variants on the side by Matt Brenner. These builds together are just so impressively cool, and make the actual UCS Star Destroyer looks quite small, as it is said that this Star Destroyer has around 35,000 pieces, which is just actually quite insane. It also has a few floors and departments inside, including the interior of the Star Destroyer, with several scenes and rooms for minifigures to be placed in, which once again makes the actual large-scale Star Destroyer set by Lego look and feel very small and underwhelming. The Star Destroyer, as one of the most iconic ships, is a very popular ship to want to create at a large scale, and this is definitely one of the best I have ever seen. Solid Brick Studios is probably one of the most popular Lego Star Wars Moc builders on YouTube, and has so many really good Lego Star Wars Mocs. However, I did not include many of his larger Mocs in this video, because I think his Mocs are so well known and appear in so many of these types of videos that I wanted to show you something different, and in general, the super large scenic Mocs aren't my taste, as I prefer smaller, easily digestible Mocs, in most cases at least. This massive Jedi Temple, however, is simply incredible and looks really cool, and is one of the only fully large-scale builds of this popular building seen in the prequels and the Clone Wars. This Moc was also apparently built in only 9 days, and for a Moc at this scale, that is just insane. Back to Brick Vault, I want to look at their massive Yavin 4 Lego Star Wars Moc, which is simply insane. This Moc, although mostly a large flat surface with some ships on it, has so much going on actually, holding both the UCS Millennium Falcon and their own UCS Ghost. There is also several other custom ships that is seen on their YouTube channel as well as their website, and then the massive wall and hangar bay of the Yavin 4 Rebel base. This whole thing is just so detailed, of course, and the best Yavin 4 Moc I have ever seen, as well as the only one that exists at this scale, that I know of at least. This one might not be as impressive to some of you, but with all the custom ships, the effort into the different parts of the build, and the overall scene, it is really cool, and quite easy to digest. I mean, they could easily just build the wall and have a table with this pattern, but rather they built the entire floor, which is really cool in my opinion. Probably one of the most impressive single vehicle builds I have ever seen is the Moff Gideon's Light Cruiser Moc, showcased on Ben Cozy's YouTube channel. This Moc is insane. It is said to be minifigure scale, and for a ship at this scale in universe, it makes for a massive Star Wars build at 24 feet long and 11 feet wide, and over 800,000 individual Lego pieces, which is actually just mind-blowing. In this video, I have said that I am not that big a fan of large-scale Mocs, but a Moc of this scale, for a single build that doesn't use most of its pieces for terrain work, the amount of effort, time, and detail that went into this is just worth praising, no doubt. If this Moc hadn't been done, I wouldn't necessarily believe it could be done either, because just keeping it together and standing with close to 1 million individual pieces, it is its own mission to keep it standing. This build is incredible, and Ben Cozy did a great job showcasing it, link down in the description below of course. What is your favorite Lego Star Wars Moc showcased in this video? Or in general? Let me know down below. I am fairly new to the world of Lego Star Wars Mocs, so I might have neglected to mention some really good ones that are out there, but more of this type of video might happen in the future. But then I will see you all in the next one. God bless you, and cheers.